This is Terrence Archer Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions, coming to you with an article I read from GoingBankingRates.com. 40 cities in danger of a housing crash this year is yours on the list, especially as we get further along in this real estate bubble 2.0. It's important to get articles like this to find out where we actually stand at that. As always, articles catch my attention. I look at the titles. I'm going to put a link inside the description, but I'm going to dive right in. 40 cities in danger of a housing crash this year is yours on the list. For most people, the housing crisis of 2008 is still a recent and painful memory of precisely how damaging a housing crisis can be. When housing markets aren't working, it's much harder for people to invest in their future and build a home for their families. For many American cities, there are now some troubling signs that could be in danger of a housing crisis striking in the future. According to the study from Gold Banking Rates, the study took a look at the information such as percentage of mortgages that have negative equity, meaning the home is ultimately worth less than the total cost of the mortgage, also referred to as being underwater on the mortgage, along with vacancy, delinquency, and foreclosure rates, scoring each category to come up with a financial ranking to determine which cities are in danger of a housing crisis. All right, so it's got 40 different videos here and the advertisements. So number 40 reaches Tulsa, Oklahoma. Percentage of mortgages underwater is 10%. Median home value is $120,600. Tulsa is the first on the list. While better off than the other 39 cities, its housing figures aren't something to boast about. Its rate of homes with negative equity is higher than the U.S. rate of 8.2%, and its rate of foreclosure is also higher than the national average. One foreclosure in every 1,778 homes versus one in every 2,471 homes for the U.S. overall. All right, so 40, number 30, just if you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, just be mindful of that. Number 39, Bakersfield, California. Percentage of houses underwater, 11.8%. Median home value, $241,200. Located in interior California, Bakersfield has an above average proportion of homes that have negative equity, but what's worse is the city's foreclosure rate, with one foreclosure in every 1,016 homes. Bakersfield's foreclosure rate is more than double the average for the nation. Interesting. Now, usually you associate California with high in Hollywood, but right here you see something a little different. That's even from my ignorant side. Of course, all areas in California ain't going to be the same, but this is just something interesting. So if you look in Bakersfield, California, be something to be mindful of. Looks like it's an advertisement here. Go to the next slide. Tallahassee, Florida. Percentage of mortgages underwater is 11.1%. Median home value is at $184,700. Tallahassee is one of a number of Florida cities to make the final list. Fortunately, most of them are ranked lower on the list of cities most in danger of a housing crisis. One in every 9 homes has negative equity, while there's one foreclosure in every 1,775 homes, which is on the higher side of the U.S. average. 37, Milwaukee. Percentage of house mortgages underwater is 15.7%. Median home value of $121,600. Wisconsin's largest city has faced similar struggles to other Midwestern former industrial towns. As industries closed or moved out, the city had to adjust, while the 2000 housing crash made this transition even tougher. About 1 in 6 homes is underwater in Milwaukee, and although home values are projected to increase 5.8% within the next year, Milwaukee's median home value is over $100,000, less than the U.S. national median. It's quite interesting. Even with the percentage of increasing, it's still going to be, and these values are not extremely high. It actually seems affordable based on what the United States average for a house is supposed to be, like over 200-some thousand for the median home house. I'll continue on. 36, Savannah, Georgia. Percentage of mortgages underwater, 13.9%. Median home value, $136,000. Georgia's major city port of Savannah is afflicted by negative equity and also high vacancy rates. The city's homeowners vacancy rate of 3.2% is almost double the national rate, while its rental vacancy rate of 7% is 4 percentage points higher than the U.S. rate overall. Interesting. Number 35 is Memphis, Tennessee. Percentage of mortgages underwater, 13.4%. Median home value of $85,800. The rate of homes with negative equity in Memphis is more than 1.5 times the prevailing national rate of 8.2%. The good news is that Memphis foreclosure rate is 1 in every 2,223 homes. It's only a little off from the U.S. average of 1 in every 2,471 homes. Again, I'll put a link inside the description, kind of going through this kind of quickly. Miami. Percentage mortgage on the water is 10%. Median home value is $339,700. Okay, that sounds more closer to, well, it's over the median average. Miami's median home value is over $100,000 more than the national median home value. However, this prevents the city from having a comparatively high foreclosure rate of 1 in every 1,273 homes, just shy double the rate of the current country overall. Number 33, Aurora, Illinois. I've done videos of Illinois' pension program, so if you're in this area, you really need to take heed. Aurora is a large suburb west of Chicago, next to Naperville. Aurora's most chilling statistic is its foreclosure rate, with 1 home in every 850 homes in foreclosure. The city has the third highest rate in the study. Don't doubt that, seeing that they have such the pension problems that I mentioned. Another advertisement here. Next slide. Lansing, Michigan. Percentage of home mortgages on the water, 16.9%. Median home value is $87,900. Michigan state capital suffers from double the rate of underwater homes compared to U.S. overall. Its rate of foreclosure is higher than the national average, with 1 foreclosure in every 1,772 homes, or 0.56 versus 0.6 for the country overall. Kind of go through these again a little faster now. I want you to read at your leisure. 31 makes New Orleans. Percentage on the water, 13.6. Next one is Miami Beach, Florida. Percentage mortgage on the water is 14.5. Median home value is $377,600. Offshore from the city of Miami Power lies Miami Beach. Home values are declined by 1.4% in the last year, according to Zillow, and they projected to rise only 2 more points in the coming year. Miami Beach is in the worse shape than Miami, with 14.5% of homes having negative equity versus 10% of Miami's homes. Homeowner vacancy is a major problem, with Miami Beach having a homeowner vacancy rate of 3.5%. Interesting. Go to the next one. St. Louis, percentage of mortgage on the water is 14.7%. Median home value is $119,600. Next one after that, Jacksonville, Florida. Florida comes up again. Percentage of home mortgage on the water, 11.2%. Median home value, $177,200. The next one after that is Mobile, Alabama. Percentage of mortgage on the water is 16.1%. The median home value is $120,500. Mobile is certainly cheaper than to live in most other cities. However, Mobile's housing leaves much to be desired. 1 in 6 homes with a mortgage has negative equity. Wow. All right. Next one. Advertising there. Little Rock, Arkansas. Percentage of mortgage on the water is 11.5%. Median home value is $140,400. Joliet, Illinois. Anything dealing with Illinois is just disastrously because of the pension problem. Is one of the things. Percentage of mortgage on the water is 15.5%. Median home value is $143,100. Number 24, Syracuse, New York. I'm from New York, so always anything give me information about that is always something I'm paying attention to. Lived there most of my life. Percentage of home mortgage on the water is 16.8%. Median home value is $87,200. I live in this city. This still is worthwhile to find out. Located in upstate New York, Syracuse is a college town, but also one suffering from housing issues. It's just interesting because I always thought if you're from New York and the city and stuff, you always think Syracuse is a great suburb area. Well, again, I really didn't go there that much, but it's just interesting to find out the statistics because we live in an age where information and data is right at our fingertips. Norfolk, Virginia. I live in Virginia now, not in Norfolk, but this is interesting to find out. Percentage of mortgage underwater, 20.6%. Median home value is $189,500. Now, the reason why Norfolk, I'm taking a little bit more time with this one is because I'm getting work I do as a hard money lenders. I get a lot of flippers who flip houses in Norfolk, Virginia, and it's interesting because I'm finding out the percentage of mortgage on the water is 20.6%, and it's part of Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Newport News Metro, an area that is facing various housing troubles. More than a fifth of Norfolk homes are underwater on their mortgage. Although foreclosures aren't bad, vacancy isn't good, with 3% of owner-occupied homes lying vacant compared with the 1.7 homeowner vacancy rate for the whole country. Just something to be mindful of, especially for people who live in this area and who's trying to flip homes. And I see this a lot. This particular area is coming up more and more. Just be really mindful. Hampton, Virginia. Hampton is just across the James River from Norfolk, and its too is facing similar housing issues to Norfolk and other cities in the metro area. Hampton's negative equity rate of 19.9% is only less than Norfolk's. However, percentage of home orders underwater, 19.9%. Median home value is 167,400. Interesting. Chicago, America's second city, now actually the third largest, isn't doing so well when it comes to housing. 21.4% of houses underwater. Median home values is 228,900. Newport News, Virginia. Again, all of these coastal towns in Virginia. Another Virginia city making the list from the same region. 19.2% of homes are underwater. Median home values 179,400. There's a lot of negative equity here. With one foreclosure in every 1,596 homes, the city foreclosure rate is higher than Hampton and Norfolk. Rental vacancy is also a problem, with 9.4% of rentals units lying vacant. Interesting. So you can't even rent over there. Wow. It's fascinating right now. Rockford, Illinois. About 1 in every 5 homes in Rockford has a mortgage with negative equity at present. 21%. And the median home value is only 85,900. Philadelphia, percentage of mortgages underwater, 13.3%. City of Brotherly Love suffers from a foreclosure rate of 1 home in every 899 being in foreclosure, which is quite high for such a large city. Negative equity is also a problem with 13.3% of homes underwater. Wow. Macon, Georgia. More than 1/5 of homes with a mortgage have negative equity in Macon. To add to the city's housing trouble, more than 10% of its rental units are unoccupied, earning it one of the highest rental vacancy rates in the study. Percentage of mortgages underwater is 20.3%. Wow. Akron, Ohio. Percentage of mortgages underwater is 20.6%. Median home value is 67,400. Columbus, Georgia. Percentage of mortgages underwater is 22.2%. Median home value is 94,200. This is fascinating, man. New Haven, Connecticut. Now, Connecticut is supposed to be considered, a more wealthier town, but with the pension problems going on in different aspects, they rank among the top 40 cities most in danger of a housing crisis. Now, you realize because there's some wealthy people who live in Connecticut. Percentage of mortgages underwater is 19.7%. Median home value is 174,100. Interesting. Toledo, Ohio. Percentage of mortgages underwater, 24.7%. Median home value is 69,700. Like its fellow city, Ohio City, Akron, Toledo's rate for homes with a negative equity mortgage is quite high when compared to the rest of the list and the national average. 12, Birmingham, Alabama. Percentage of mortgage underwater is 26.5%. Median home values of 145,400. This is fascinating. All right. It's Columbia, South Carolina. Percentage of mortgage underwater 14.6%. Median home values 134,000. Columbia, the capital South Carolina, suffered from the highest foreclosure rate in the study, 1 home in every 796, and the delinquency rate of 2.1%. I tell you, if you live in these cities, it's just to be mindful of this. Montgomery, Alabama, percentage of mortgage underwater is 28.2%. Median home value is 83,100. Well, over a quarter of Montgomery houses are underwater on their mortgage. This is ridiculous. So, and this is, they keep telling us that we recovered and everything else is going fine and dandy, and we're not going to experience another real estate. I was listening to one podcast of some real estate person saying we're not going to experience what we experienced in 2008. I'm going to have to agree with them. It actually seems like it could be worse because they've never recovered from the last one. Percentage of mortgage underwater is 27.6% if you live in Dayton, Ohio. Median home values is 52,500. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Percentage of mortgage underwater is 26.8%. Median home value of 108,100. Wow. Cleveland. Percentage of mortgage underwater is 25.9%. Median home value of 55,900. Isn't that fascinating that you can have percentage of mortgage underwater is 25.9% and the median home value is only 55,900, with 1 in every 832 homes in foreclosure. Second highest foreclosure rate in the study. This is, wow. Paterson, New Jersey. Percentage of mortgage underwater is 24.7%. Median home value is 253,100. You're buying in real estate in these areas, you be very careful. Hartford, Connecticut, percentage of mortgages under water 22.4%, median home values of $130,900. Baltimore, percentage of mortgages under water 26.5%, median home values of $119,200. Not totally surprised about this. It's probably one that's got a lot of press over the years. It's just it's very tough in that town. Bridgeport, Connecticut, percentage of homes underwater is 26.9%, median home value is $176,200. Connecticut has fallen on hard times in recent years with its financial trouble and undermined by debt, according to the Washington Post. Bridgeport is one of Connecticut's largest cities and faces serious housing obstacles, with 26.9% of homes underwater on their mortgage. Again, these are areas that you wouldn't normally find and thinking that they would be having these kind of housing issues, but they do. Number 2, Detroit. Percentage of mortgages underwater is 34.4%. This is the country, Detroit is the one that went through bankruptcy. Still doesn't have home value for the city of Detroit proper, but even the Detroit, Warren, Dearborn metro areas, median home value of $161,300 is still well below the national median of $226,300, with 34.4% of homes having negative equity. Detroit has the highest rate of home loans underwater in the study. Top's number 1. Number 1 is Newark, New Jersey. Percentage of mortgages underwater is 27.9%. Median home value is $252,000. Newark has high rates of vacancy, both for houses and for rental units, 5.2% and 9.5% respectively, versus 1.7% and 6.1% for the U.S. national. Lateness on mortgage payments is a major issue, with the 6.4% of homes being delinquent, equivalent to almost 6 times the national delinquency rate. Well, that covers it, folks. We're at a housing bubble 2.0. If you live in any of these cities, you need to be very mindful. Even with numbers like this, it could still be an opportunity if you know what you're doing. If you look as a flipper and you're in these particular areas, you need to be extremely mindful, because, or anyone purchasing a home in these areas from someone who's put on the market for a short time, be extra cautious. In fact, you might want to hold off until the next housing bubble 2.0 blows over. If this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments. Until my next video, I'm out.